Oh, pin up. I should take a poster and hang it up on the wall. If I can do this. There we go. Whew. What a beauty. What a nice fruit. It's heavy. It's heavy. Gorgeous. Gorgeous big fruit. A bit disappointing, to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed. Aww. It's just not sweet enough, you know?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Thumbs down. It gets a thumbs down. Well, it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't too good. It was, yeah, it had that little bit of bitter, that classic bitterness of the Australian pawpaws. That's what they called them, the old Australian papayas that we've grown here. And yeah, just had that tinge of bitterness. But since then I picked another fruit that was almost as big, like bigger than this fruit, and it wasn't too bad. It didn't really have any bitterness. And it had grown through winter as well. I picked it, it had grown all through winter, and I picked it at the end of winter. Yeah, it was basically the end of winter, the beginning of spring, and it was quite all right. And I've picked a few smaller ones since then that haven't been too bad. Much better than the first papaya. And then now I've got these two, and these have grown all through winter as well. And yeah, these two were growing just side by side. So isn't that amazing, the difference in shape? So, okay. Here we go, huh? Taste test. Oh yeah, there's my orange canine pepper seeds that I got just the other day. That was quite nice of them. I bought that on eBay. It seems to be getting to be quite a rare strain of canine pepper, actually, chili pepper. It was 10 seeds for $3. And I've counted them. He's given me more than 40 seeds there. So that's good of him. He's given me value for money. And that's a strain I've wanted for a long time. It used to be common in the supermarkets here. It's about 4 inches long, and it's orange, and it's a sweet chili. Sweet and fruity. And not burning hot. It's kind of hot. It's mild, I guess. It's got some heat, but it's sweet and fruity, and yeah, it's very nice. And I've missed them so much. I haven't eaten one in 10 years.
So I'm finally going to be growing some in the yard. Now that I've got these seeds, if I play my cards right, I'll never be short of them. And oh, they're delicious in a dish. I used to add a couple of bird's eye chilies plus these as well. But these can be quite alright by themselves if you add enough. Like if you really like that hot chili flavour, you just add more of them. And it'll come out good. But yeah, you can almost eat them raw. Just
by themselves, almost. If you really like that hot chili. Because they're not too hot. And sweet and fruity. They're really yum. But anyway, getting back, I'm getting off track, aren't I? I often do that. But let's just see. Let's just give these two a taste test. And let's just see what we come up with. So I'll start with the smaller one. Oh, good. Oh, Again, that's good. Oh, gee. Immediately refreshing, like I was saying about my red. It's like zingy and like pow, lots of life energy in it. And sweet. Sweet, hey, it's nice. No trace of bitterness, none. And that's the one that's shaped like the Hawaiian, well, kinda. But it's got no creaminess like the Hawaiian. I used to always describe the Hawaiian as creamy, and a lot of people would give me funny looks, but I've seen it even written in the seed catalogues. They describe it as creamy as well. It is an amazing papaya. But this is not creamy at all. This is like zingy and sweet. Hi folks, it's late afternoon, 26th of September 2021, and I thought I'd try and give you a look at these, but I'm not sure if you can see them. Oh yeah, you should be able to see them. Yeah, I wanted to show you these on a sunny day, but it was cloudy and threatening rain all day today, and looks like we could even have a week of bad weather coming. And I just came down here this afternoon, and these have been in a bag. These have been bagged for the last 11 days, and I just found I had a third fruit off this tree in a bag as well, and a fruit bat I imagine, has discovered them inside the bags. So yeah, the third fruit's been completely eaten. That's all that's left of it. That's all that's left of the third fruit. Could be a rat, but I imagine it's the fruit bats. And that's the bag it was in. They got through it. Not much of a hole in it actually, but it was enough to see there. It was enough for them to break the fruit off. I guess maybe it was so ripe they broke the fruit off and it fell on the ground, and then they ate it. So yeah, these are just perfectly ripe. Look at them. So nice. So I better take them off right now, or they'll go tonight. Whatever it is, I've got that third one. We'll get this one tonight. And see how they got two different sizes. I'll try and get my breath back. Well, I'll just pick these anyway. I'll pick them, give you a closer look, get my breath back as well. And it's just starting to spit here now too. So hopefully I'll show you a bit more footage. Okay, my friends, there's a better look at that fruit in better light. So nice, huh? Those two fruit were just growing side by side with two different shapes. I really did want to give these a taste test actually. But both of these are different too. You remember my video where I said it was a fail? I picked this great big papaya. It was bigger than that even. Well, maybe not quite as wide at the end, but it was more round at the base. So even that one tapers off a little, which is more like the Hawaiian parent plant. And that one tapers off huge. It's just freakishly huge. But that fruit that I picked back in autumn, it was more round at the base as well as the end, if you know what I mean. Well, you remember from the video actually, maybe I'll just cut in and show you. And that fruit, it failed the taste test. Remember, that was the one I've got the big fail written across the screen on the thumbnail. of the video, because it was a taste test fail. It was a big beautiful fruit, but it just didn't quite make the grade flavour wise. And this is the daughter of my Hawaiian Gold. Remember, I've raised the seeds from my Hawaiian Gold, and look what I've got, all these shapes and sizes. See, and it's been crossed. It's been crossed by fruit bats. They've crossbred my beautiful Hawaiian Gold. And these two fruits, actually you can see these two fruits when I picked that big fruit back in autumn. And these fruits have been growing all through winter. So it's been months before they ripened up. And they just started showing some colour, so I bagged them. I put them in a bag about 11 days ago. There was 3 fruits actually. I bagged all 3. And as you can see at the beginning of this video, a fruit bat, I assume, possibly a rat too, has discovered them inside the bag now. So that's a real shame. And it completely devoured one of the fruits. Thank God it didn't touch these 2. Because I did want to show you these 2. I really wanted to show you and give you a taste test to see if there's how much variation we're going to have between these 2 fruits. And I have picked a few fruits. I've picked at least 2 good sized fruit, that big or bigger actually, from that tree now that it's spring. And they were not too bad actually. They surprised me. They didn't have any of that bitterness at all. And yeah, not too bad. Certainly that one I did that failed, I've had nothing shaped like that or taste like that since. But anyway, yeah, as you know, that tree's got rot in its stem, so its days are numbered. It's a wonder it's lived as long as it has actually, but I put that special paste on the rotten stem. Yeah, putting out a lot of fruit, but now, the damn thing, look at this. It's got some rot in the stem. And I've prepared this for you. I've cleaned this back to show you what I'm going to do. I've sort of cleaned all the rot out. There's a good chance I'm going to lose it. It even goes down a few inches under the ground, the rot. You know, I'll probably be lucky to save this tree. But I've made up this stuff. I'm going to put this on now, show you. This is a mixture of dolomite and cupric hydroxide, a very soluble form of copper. It's good for fighting disease. And yeah, I've made a paste. And I've added a bit of sea salt as well. And it's mostly dolomite lime. It's about, what's that? It's about a litre. That's a 2 litre ice cream container. About half of it's dolomite lime. And I've added about 30. I just threw it in, I didn't measure it. But there's roughly about 30 grams of cupric hydroxide in that, and a little bit of sea salt as well. Oh, about 50 ml of sea salt. And this is pretty much this tree's only hope. So, fingers crossed, this stuff is going to help save it. And also I've just got to stop watering, because these things can take a lot of dry. So anyway, I'll get that stuff down deep. And paste it on like and that will dry. And that will help dry it out. And that's about its only chance. And maybe this can save it. Let's see, I'll keep you updated. But there is a good chance this tree will just shit itself before long. Just one day I'll come down here and it'll virtually die overnight. And I'll lose all that nice fruit. See, it's just really wanting to put fruit out, eh? The top of the plant is not really showing any signs of this problem at all, but it will soon. So it's helping the tree to live longer and fill out the last of its fruit. But yeah, I don't know if it's going to last that much longer. Its days are definitely numbered. And I was saying before, I don't care, but now after I've had a couple of nice fruits on that tree, and I strongly suspect these two are going to be nice too. At a guess, it's hard to say which one's going to be the best. So I couldn't, that's a shape I've like, oh, I've hardly ever seen a papaya shape like that with such a, I have seen them, but yeah, you know, that's so pronounced, isn't it? It's hard to say what it's going to be like. And this one, yeah, this one is more shaped like an Hawaiian. Yeah, it's hard. I'll only be able to tell you when I taste them, actually. But yeah, quite excited. Yeah, they've been about 11 days in the bag, so they've ripened up beautifully. Like, I guess another day or two would be ideal, wouldn't it? Another day or two on the shelf. Yeah, and a few bites there, that's the fruit spotting bug again, but it shouldn't bother them too much. Not too many bites. Should I? I'm almost, it's crossing my mind now, because they aren't quite firm. I'm very tempted actually to just let them go a couple of days on the shelf. Because I had to pick these tonight. I didn't want to, but because I saw last night that something had grabbed the third fruit, and all that was left was a tiny bit of skin. They ate everything. They ate the seeds, they ate the flesh, and just left a tiny bit of skin. Yeah, I will actually, after really giving it a good look and just feeling it's quite hard and firm, I will give it a couple more days to ripen up on the shelf. And let's hope I don't leave it so long it gets all those nips on it again. Like you've seen with my other fruit, that if I leave here inside the house, it doesn't happen outside, it only happens inside the house, which is quite annoying. But yeah, I'll give it a couple more days and I'll show you then. It probably still is, oh, it would be nice, but yeah, I'll just give it a little bit longer. Just to get that little bit riper. Okay, well that's all for now. That's all for now, but yeah, like what a beauty, eh? What a beauty. And I've picked a papaya every day since spring. Every day I've been eating a fresh homegrown papaya. And with my health, I really notice things if they're not so good. And well, I buy papayas and they are good, but they're definitely not as good as my papayas. And I even wonder if it's the chemicals, because the ones I buy have definitely got chemicals in them, and they definitely have glyphosate in them. As I was saying in another video, there's glyphosate in everything these days. It's all through the food chain. It's in the air even. It's on virtually every part of the entire earth, and it's in every person's body. And it's even, you can even find traces of glyphosate in vaccines. It just taints everything. And there's even traces of glyphosate in women's tampons, of all things. It's just in everything. And it's just really nice to get away from that stuff. And especially when your health is not so good like mine, and just eat as pure as possible. Yeah, and I'm really noticing it. Like the air's better now in spring. We're getting the nice sea breezes, but my diet has really improved too. And lately I'm virtually living on my own papaya and my own vegetable garden. I'm not buying much stuff at all. I'm buying a few extra papayas, and that's just about it really. Yeah, I'm virtually living out of my own garden, and it's really doing me good. And yeah, I've had a papaya every day for the last, what is it now, the 26th today. So yeah, it's been about 26 days having at least one papaya a day, a red or a yellow. And there was even about 2 days ago I picked 4 fruit in one day. And then today, yeah, I picked these 2 fruit. And oh, good size, you know, because that's a beauty, that's a big one. So yeah, I'm doing well, and there's still a lot more fruit to come. And I'm just about to expand my veggie garden. So yeah, and I'm saving a lot of money. I hardly have to spend a cent in the supermarket. And yep, eating good, clean food. So okay, I'll get back to you in a few days. Just give you a bit of a look at that, just how nice it is. Oh, I sure hope I don't show you. I hope I don't leave it too long and show you covered in bites from those damn insects. But isn't that beautiful? Oh, and soon my fruit in the future should have, well, we should have less of these bites, hopefully. Less of these bites, because I'm trying to prepare for it. I'm learning new things all the time. I'm discovering, you know, when I was saying these fruit spotting bugs seem to go dormant in winter, but what I've discovered now is in winter they don't eat the branches as much. Like when they eat the branches, that's when they can kill the tree. But in winter they seem to bury themselves in amongst the clusters of fruit, and they suck more on the fruit. So yeah, I've discovered now they are still active in winter. They just, their eating preferences change or something, or maybe they just find more protection from the cold. But they seem to bury themselves more into the clusters of fruit and still keep biting the fruit in winter. So I'll be more prepared for that next year, next winter. And hopefully I'll have even less of these bites. Okay, well that's enough for now. And we'll continue this in a few days. Bye for now. Hi my friends, welcome to Local Time. Today is the 4th of October 2021, and yeah, I've left this too long again for these papaya. I picked these things on the 26th, so 6 days have passed, and they should be pretty well ripe. But I've got a bit of rot here in this one. You can see that's gone a bit soft. That's where it's been sitting. So there's probably a big patch of that that's wasted. That's such a shame, isn't it? I've left it too long again to give you a real good view of what's going on here for this taste test. But it looks like, I'm nearly sure I've got 3 different flavours of papaya on the one tree due to crossbreeding from the bats. But let's see, this will be the big test. So yeah, as you can see, I've probably cut in by now to show you the first papaya fruit that I picked off this tree. This is the tree that I call the daughter of Hawaiian Gold, but it's nothing like an Hawaiian Gold. Yeah, it's just too crossed. But the first fruit wasn't good. It had grown all through summer. That's supposed to make them sweeter. But wow, look at that, huh? How's that for a nice looking fruit? Wow, bloody nice, if you ask me. I'm looking forward to trying that. Oh, that's perfect. I think it's time to pick it. I'll be picking it now. Maybe I'll just leave it on the shelf for a day or two. Oh, I'm proud of that. Oh, pin up. I should take a poster and hang it up on the wall. If I can do this. There we go. Whew. What a beauty. What a nice fruit. It's heavy. It's heavy. Gorgeous. Gorgeous big fruit. A bit disappointing, to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed. Aww. I will eat these and I will enjoy these. Yeah, that one's not so bad. I will enjoy these, but the flavour is why I prefer red papayas. It's just not sweet enough, you know?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
The flavor. Thumbs down. It gets a thumbs down. Well, it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't too good. It was, yeah, it had that little bit of bitter, that classic bitterness of the Australian pawpaws. That's what they called them, the old Australian papayas that we've grown here. And yeah, just had that tinge of bitterness. But since then I picked another fruit that was almost as big, like bigger than this fruit, and it wasn't too bad. It didn't really have any bitterness. And it had grown through winter as well. I picked it, it had grown all through winter, and I picked it at the end of winter. Yeah, it was basically the end of winter, the beginning of spring, and it was quite all right. And I've picked a few smaller ones since then that haven't been too bad. Much better than the first papaya. And then now I've got these two, and these have grown all through winter as well. And yeah, these two were growing just side by side, so isn't that amazing, the difference in shape? But this one is sort of more the classic shape of the Hawaiian Gold. Actually, I can feel now it's still a bit firm. The Hawaiian Golds would get softer, but it has softened a little. Yeah, it's had plenty of time to ripen. But look, I'm showing you their best side right now. Have a look at this. This is where I'm like stuffing up. Like, look at that. Isn't that a shame? And that's those little black bugs again. And I was really watching them this time. I was trying to keep on top of it. And this is only a day. This is one day, all that damage. Isn't that terrible? Like, they've been pretty good. I've really been trying to keep on them. I had a pineapple just near them, and those black bugs were going for the pineapple. And then I was constantly spraying the pineapple with pyrethrin. And like, you know, I say they do backstroke in it, but if you use enough, you can kind of, well, they almost like drown in it, I think. It still doesn't, they're very resistant to pyrethrin. But yeah, I've been keeping the black bugs back, but this is just one day. They've swarmed it and caused all this damage. But again, you know, yeah, it looks terrible. I shouldn't be doing it. I'm not giving you a good example of a taste test, am I? But that'll cut off. It won't be too deep. But yeah, that rotten bit, that'll be the worst. Well, that's even like potentially edible still, but it's kind of fermented, and I'll cut that out. And then we've got this one, yeah, and here we see the other side. It's not as bad, maybe shallower bites, but yeah, again, one day, all those bites in one day. But I'll slice all that off, and yeah, I'm feeling hungry. I'm going to eat both of these papayas today, and we'll give it a good taste test and see if there's any variation. Like, I could be wrong. They might just taste exactly the same. But I've got a suspicion Well, especially going by the first papaya I picked, looked very different to both of these fruit, and it had that tinge of classic Australian paw bitterness about it. And then I've picked a few after them that didn't really have the bitterness at all. And then now I've picked these two. So yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. I'm really interested anyway in seeing how it comes out. So let's open them up. Let's give them a slice. I'm not sure how I should go about this. I guess I should slice this off first, all this bug damage. But then I'm going to have to slice down there, I think, and cut that rotten stuff out. But yeah, it's potentially, that rotten stuff is potentially still edible. So yeah, oh that's good. I haven't had to go too deep there, have I? And yeah, they've coloured up. They're quite golden. They're more than just yellow. They're quite golden, aren't they? In colour, especially. I think they appreciate having a few days to sit on the shelf. I've maybe left it a day or two too long. But the main disadvantage is, in my house, is the bugs love sweet ripe fruit. That black bug. And that's why they're never a problem outside really, because I pick everything before it's too ripe. So the flying foxes won't get it, the fruit bats won't get it. But in the house there's always ripe fruit, and those black bugs just thrive on it. Particularly papaya. They love papaya. Oh, and something I thought I'd point out you might find interesting. Tomatoes. I've been buying tomatoes again. I stopped eating them for a long time because I believe they're not so healthy these days. And they talk, well, there's a natural toxin in tomatoes that is bad for people with breathing problems. That's definitely true. I can vouch for that, going with my breathing problems. But also, tomatoes are one of the most heavily sprayed fruits there is. That they spray up to 50 different chemicals on tomatoes these days. And yeah, just for interest's sake, I have the tomatoes right next to the papayas. I have my tomatoes right next to the papayas, and those little critters, they do not touch the tomatoes. They are not interested in those tomatoes. So that's like scary actually when you see that those bugs will just thrash this fruit, but they will not touch the ripe store-bought tomatoes. They won't touch it, and the skin's so soft you think it's just perfect for these critters, but that just goes to show how much chemical is on those fruits, hey, those store-bought tomatoes. Anyway, we'll slice. Okay, we've got all the damage, the bug damage. Now we'll slice it down the middle. See, oh, it's kind of soft. Not much fruit and not much seed. Isn't that interesting? This is occurring a lot too. We've got, like, they're quite ripe. You couldn't say they're not ripened, but there's two different colours of seed in there. There's a jet black seed, and then there's a lighter coloured seed. I get that all the time with this strain, which again suggests there's two different things going on there. Anyway, we'll just cut that bit off. Yeah, a lot of waste. Isn't that a shame, really? We cut that bit off, and we'll cut this bit off. That's very negligent of me, really. But yeah, it's quite an effort to sort of prepare to give you guys a taste test. And I've been so busy. And I've got to do it late at night, so there's no traffic outside. We get so much traffic here. So I do it late at night, so it's nice and quiet. And I've got to drug up. I've just like really hit all my lung drugs, so I can breathe as well as possible for you. You don't hear me gasping for air too much, because that's a bit of a turn off, isn't it, really, to hear me struggling to breathe. So yeah, and also it's no fun to talk when you can't breathe. So I need those drugs so I can talk better. And here we go. So here we go. We'll see how the... Wait! Don't fall on the ground. Didn't quite fall on the ground. Well, this is different slicing this to begin with. This is not as soft. It's not as soft as the other one. Looks very similar though. Perhaps maybe not quite as orange, perhaps a little bit more yellow. But quite sort of orangey flesh, isn't it? Quite a nice colour in that flesh. And basically almost tree ripened under the bags. Remember at the beginning of this video? Well, you'll remember better than me because I made that video 6 days ago. But yeah, there was 3 fruit and something got one of the fruit in the bag. So that's unfortunate. That's the first attack of fruit that I've got bagged up. And I was saying I wasn't sure if it was a fruit bat or bat or a rat, but I'm more sure it's a fruit bat now because I've seen that fruit bat coming back looking for more food. I've seen him here at night, the bugger. Okay, that's it. Like I have not had a fruit shaped like that yet until now, and well, there's still a bit of variation there in the seed. I don't know, I hope you guys don't want this seed because I'm throwing it all out. It did cross my mind with that banana red papaya actually, that someone's going to ask me for seed and perhaps think it's a good idea to breed a banana shaped papaya because it is good tasting, by the way. And like I was saying, yeah, it is possible to breed it if you bred it the right way, and you could get a banana shaped papaya every time. But anyway, I'm throwing all those seeds out now. You see, there's different colour. There's 2 different colours of seed in there. I got a feeling, I could be wrong, but I got a feeling that light brown. There's the black seed, that'll sprout for sure. But I've got a feeling that light brown seed will sprout too. And I got a feeling there'll be 2 different plants if you did plant them. A lot of this is still guesswork, but that's my guess anyway. Because it's definitely, like, this is just crossed like really there's 3 different shaped fruit. There's 3 pronounced very different shaped fruit on this one tree. And there's definitely been different flavours, because again the first one had the tinge of bitter, and now there's ones that have come after have been much better. And then now I've got these 2, which is very interesting to have 2 so differently shaped fruits side by side. And this tree is doomed too, you remember, it's got that rod at the stem. So it's a miracle it's lasted this long, really. It's only because I put that stuff on it to try to patch the wound up, the dolomite and copper and maxi crop. Otherwise it probably would have died months ago. I guess I'll put 2 pieces out of the way for now. I'll just focus on 2 pieces. So there's one. Oh, so slippery. And here's the other one. Yep, and all the seeds going in the bin. I guess perhaps for the right people there could be potentially interesting strains for someone who is seriously breeding papaya and looking at breeding different strains. There could be interesting things to be found here. But for me, I'm ready to step up. I feel I'm stepping up, going for this red dragon seed. So I'm planning on planting a lot of red dragons. And it'll still be nice having these other trees. This will give me different flavours if I get a bit bored with just eating the red dragon. So, okay. Here we go, huh? Taste test. Oh yeah, there's my orange canine pepper seeds that I got just the other day. That was quite nice of them. I bought that on eBay. It seems to be getting to be quite a rare strain of canine pepper actually, chili pepper. It was 10 seeds for $3. And I've counted them. He's given me more than 40 seeds there. So that's good of him. He's given me value for money. And that's a strain I've wanted for a long time. It used to be common in the supermarkets here. It's about 4 inches long and it's orange and it's a sweet chili. Sweet and fruity. And not burning hot. It's kind of hot. It's mild, I guess. It's got some heat, but it's sweet and fruity, and yeah, it's very nice. And I've missed them so much. I haven't eaten one in 10 years.
So I'm finally going to be growing some in the yard. Now that I've got these seeds, if I play my cards right, I'll never be short of them. And oh, they're delicious in a dish. I used to add a couple of bird's eye chilies plus these as well. So these can be quite alright by themselves if you add enough. Like if you really like that hot chili flavour, you just add more of them. And it'll come out good. But yeah, they're quite big. You can almost eat them raw.
Just by themselves, almost. If you really like that hot chili. Because they're not too hot. And sweet and fruity. They're really yum. But anyway, getting back, I'm getting off track, aren't I? I often do that. But let's just see. Let's just give these two a taste test. And let's just see what we come up with. So I'll start with the smaller one. Oh, good. Oh, again, that's good. Oh, gee. Immediately refreshing, like I was saying about my red. It's like zingy and like pow, lots of life energy in it. And sweet. Sweet, hey, it's nice. No trace of bitterness, none. And that's the one that's shaped like the Hawaiian, well kinda. But it's got no creaminess like the Hawaiian. I used to always describe the Hawaiian as creamy, and a lot of people would give me funny looks, but I've seen it even written in the seed catalogues. They describe it as creamy as well. It is an amazing papaya. But this is not creamy at all. This is like zingy and sweet. Like how could I describe zingy? It's almost like a good citrus. That's a classic zingy flavour, full of life energy. It's almost like that, hey? But not. It's like vaguely like a citrus. But just something about it, the way citrus wakes your mouth up. It's just like, tastes like sunshine. Refreshing. And power. Well, hey, look, that is definitely good. That is the best papaya I've eaten from that tree so far. That is good. And definitely sweet. It's something I could get to like for sure. Well, I do like straight up, but I could get to like it even more. And I've got another tree that's better actually, another daughter of the Hawaiian Gold, and I haven't had one bad fruit on that yet. But something I could say about these yellows, I've been thinking a bit about this and how to describe it. Not noticing it so much in that one anyway, but my other tree, and I can still see it a bit in this, but complex. I could almost say the flavours of these yellows is kind of complex. Kind of. Like, which makes it really interesting. Yeah, how else can I describe that? Yeah, it's like there's hints and tinges of a range of different things that are all good. Which is something, well, I haven't noticed so much in my own red papaya. All the store-bought red papaya. They've got a very classic flavour. But these yellows, yeah, maybe it's like a mixture of a few different things. And I guess that maybe describes it too, because there's a mixture of strains in this. There's a mixture of strains, so it has a mixture of taste. Oh, that is good. I wish I cut that open before that one piece went rotten, because I've missed that whole piece now. Although maybe now it's perfectly ripe. It's very nicely ripe. And yes, not quite as soft as the Hawaiian Gold, or as creamy, even though it's come from the Hawaiian Gold. It's grown from seeds from the Hawaiian Gold. But it's sweet, it's juicier. It's juicy and sweet and kind of tangy and refreshing. Oh, that's very good. When I eat that, I feel a bit of sadness that that tree's going to die. And it almost makes me think about persisting with these seeds. Growing some more of them, but oh, I don't know. I've still got one tree left and it tastes better. I still think it's a better tasting daughter of the Hawaiian Gold. And fingers crossed it'll last for many years yet. Although it's virtually seedless now. Yeah, decisions. There's only so much a person can do at my age with a garden my size. But these seeds could be some of the last seeds. Because I had it's true to type as I can get, males growing next to it too, because I wanted to produce more seed. So yeah, I had males from the daughter of the Hawaiian Gold crossing into these. That's what these seeds are from. And now all my males are dead. There's no more males, so once these last few get picked, well, even these are potentially the last of the seeds from those trees. It's really got me thinking if I should keep a few of those. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's only so much I can do at my age. Okay, so let's try the other one then now, hey? Now it's time to try the other one. What is this one going to taste like? This is a little bit firmer, a tiny bit. and definitely different. Different, eh? Definitely a different flavour. When it first touches my tongue, my mouth, the first thing I think is it's not quite as good as the other one. It's not as zingy. It's not as sweet. It's still nice. The flesh is firmer. The flesh is a little more yellow. The flavours are more complex. Like I was saying before. It's a good taste. It's still a good taste. But yeah, it's different. It's different, eh? So there you go. I've had 3 fruit that are all different. 3 different fruit on the one tree. That's quite amazing, isn't it? I would have never thought that was possible 10 or 20 years ago when I had my own papaya farm. I would have never thought that was possible. Yet not as sweet. Almost that creaminess I was talking about of the Hawaiian Gold. There's almost a bit of that creaminess in this one, but not quite. But yeah, you can almost say, well again, yeah, the memories. Because it's deep in the genetics. I guess if you're strict enough with the seeds, growing every seed and every plant and checking the fruit on every plant, you would potentially find fruit that are quite creamy like the Hawaiian Gold again. There's always throwbacks. You know, this is cross, but there'll always be, like if you planted all those seeds, I would think you'd have a pretty good chance of getting an Hawaiian Gold that's just like the parent plant. Amongst all those seeds, somewhere there would be a throwback that would be virtually identical to the Hawaiian Gold. But again, this is like, I'm glad to have it. It's unique. It's nice to have different flavoured papaya, hey. It's juicy, it's not as tangy and sweet. It's more complex. It's got hints of creaminess. No bitterness at all. That's where it wins me. Like that's that bitter tinge. It's stronger in some of our traditional yellow pawpaws, as we call them. It's stronger in some than others, but it tends to be not that strong. But I just don't like it. I'm really off it. Any hint of bitterness even is not for me. Tired of it. And I think the reason why most people don't like papayas all that much, or pawpaws, they don't like that stomach bile kind of bitterness, which was the only strain in Australia actually. It was pretty much the only commercial strain in Australia, for I don't know how long, could be 100 years, you know, or more. And we just never seemed to have anything else, particularly when I grew up anyway, particularly in the last 60 years. And it's only been the last, 20 odd years you could find red papayas commercially in stores. And even 20 years ago you had to search a bit. But nowadays it's quite common actually. Nowadays the reds are easier to find, or around here anyway, it's easier to find reds than it is those bitter yellows. Yeah, well that is so cool, I reckon. That's so cool. 3 different flavoured papaya on the one tree. Wow. Oh, that's good. A good meal. I'll definitely eat the lot. I don't know if you want to watch me. Maybe, yeah, maybe, I guess I'll keep it rolling, let you see. Yeah, that's good fruit. That's just like, it's full of life energy. It's good, healthy food. Yeah, I do prefer that one though. That was the nicer of the two. I'll get that out of the shade there. I don't know if you can notice any difference in colour. I guess it is pretty much of a muchness, isn't it? Very similar colour. It's definitely now anyway. I was thinking that before it looked a little bit more orange. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But oh, that's a real plus, that they've grown through winter. Usually it's the summer that brings the sugars out. These fruit have just grown all the way through winter. Picked on the 26th of September, a little over 3 weeks into spring, and not a hint of bitterness, not a hint. Very nice. And yeah, they're both refreshing actually. They're both very zingy and bright. Again, I said it with the red I picked just recently actually. But I think you can say the same with this, maybe even more so with these. Is you can almost taste the sunshine. You can almost, if sunshine had a flavour, maybe it's something like this. Or maybe it's just the life energy that I'm picking up, because it's well, I think it's like, it seems to be packed full of life energy if you ask me. But I think a wood tire, well, you know, this one's so big. Eating the second one as well, maybe I will tire of it a little. I'll still eat it. But that one, oh geez. That one was the best of the two. Just get rid of that stem, that's where the stem was growing. Yeah, I don't think I'll keep the seeds. I guess I can always plant more seeds from the Hawaiian Gold. I'll always be getting a few seeds from those fruits. And this one, yeah, this tree, the tree that gave these fruits, its days are numbered. And now that I'm growing the red dragons, sad to say, but once those red dragons get a bit of size, if this tree is still growing, I'll probably cut it out. I'll try and keep it alive as long as possible because there's still a fair bit of fruit there. Mostly small fruit now, but some of it might still ripen up in time. But my plan was, well, I've got to do it because it's doomed. This tree is not going to make it. I'd be very surprised if it'll make it with that stem rot, as bad as it is. I'm surprised it's lived as long as it has actually. So yeah, as soon as those red dragons are ready to transplant, these will be going. This tree will be getting chopped out to make room. I still don't have that much space. Ah, dang. So slippery. I am tiring a little bit of this fruit actually, to be honest. I guess it's a lot of fruit, isn't it? It's just not as sweet as that one. A little bit more to go. Nice big feast. Just pack my stomach with life energy. Yeah, I think I'll have a rest from that one for now. That bigger one. And I'll just concentrate on finishing this sweet one off. And I can finish the rest of that bigger one later. In another couple of hours. I guess it has filled me up pretty well. I'll get the seeds out of that. Oh. Yeah, that one's the better out of the two. I'm amazed at how juicy they are actually. Very juicy. Like my reds too at the moment, I must be giving them just the right amount of water. But it's real borderline, you've really got to watch that water. Because papayas don't need much. Well, they like a lot of water when they're young. If you fern them up when they're young, give them a lot of fertilizer, a lot of water. They'll grow fast. But once they get bigger and get their roots in the ground, they get their roots down deep, they don't need as much water. And this area here really, they almost shouldn't have any water. It's almost the natural rains. We get up to about 50 inches a year here of rainfall. And that tends to be about all the papaya needs around here. They don't really need any more water. But when they're young, they don't mind being hosed. Get some water from the hose. Oh well, I'm full. I am, to be honest, I'm full. I filled up pretty quick. I did have some sesame snaps actually. Sesame and glucose snaps because it's late at night, just to sort of wake me up so I could give you a better video. Maybe that's helped to fill me up as well. So yeah, to be honest, that's about all I need for now. I'll still be able to finish the rest of this off in a couple of hours, but that's about all I need. And if I have any more, I'm really going to be overeating. So I hope you found that interesting, guys. Hope you found that interesting. 3 different flavoured fruits on one tree. It's quite amazing. The first one not so good, and these two good, quite good, especially the smaller one. This smaller one, quite good. Quite good eating. Yeah, and I've still got this to go. That's quite a meal there. Still got those 2 pieces and more of that to go. Wow. Quite a feast. Okay, my friends, hope you enjoyed to see that. Hope you enjoyed the show. And I've got a lot of great new videos coming soon actually. I've managed to get some nice sunsets and sunrises, and I've got another full moon video coming soon. I got a beautiful sunrise yesterday. Can't wait to show it to you. So until next time, thanks for watching and bye for now, my friends.